Welcome to Octane Mobile Gaming.
But there's no way to slow it down. We're all dreamers, dreaming of the good life. But there's nothing that nice on the cards for us. It's alright though, cause we can have a good time. And we don't worry if it's dangerous. So take this ride and hold on tight. We're gonna live forever.
Welcome once again to another Octane Mobile Gaming video. Today we do both possible deck combination and the deck release in one. Last week there wasn't a possible deck combination because I didn't really play the event, so there was no point in me doing possible deck combination. I found the deck boring anyway. Tried it out for about 20 minutes, thought it was really boring. Wasn't really doing much, wasn't really getting anywhere, so I just decided not to play the event, so there wasn't a possible deck combination. This week, however, we've got a deck that I believe that the Master Collection card and the Ultimate form are okay. I don't think they're fabulous, I don't think they're really powerful, but I think they're okay. Okay in the sense that going forward, they can be really useful off affinity gem spawners for other decks. Apart from that, I don't really see much of a value on the deck itself. So let's take a look at Primal Protectors, which is the ultimate form for this week. So the ultimate form for this week will create 7 Earth Power Gem 5s. It will also increase self damage for 20% for 2 turns. It's got a 1 turn cooldown, which gives you the ability to double up on the damage. Now the damage is only 20%. You can double up and you get 40%. If this was say 50% damage increase and you double up on the damage increase, you could get 100% damage increase. That would have been far better. That would have made this car far more powerful than it currently is. Now it's got a passive which is similar to the passive of say Hard-Worn Gorillas or the Freedom Fighters. So whenever this era attacks, because Hark attacks at the end of the turn for 50% of the main attack. It also creates free Earth Power Gem 5s. So it will create free Power Gem 5s whenever the era attacks. And it will do 50% of the main attack. And that's what this does. So the passive will give you free Power Gem 5s and it gives you 50% of the main attack, and that's your passive. So every time you attack, you get 50% of the main attack on the next turn. The Master Collection card does something similar in the sense that it does create 7 Earth Power Gem 5s and it increases self damage for 20% for 2 turns. It can double up as well, just like the ultimate form. However, this one hasn't got a passive. The only other thing it does, it dispels blind. But between the ultra rare and the master collection card, I believe the master collection card is a bit better than the ultra rare. Whereas the master collection card creates 7 Earth Power Gem 5s, this one with its battle skill creates 4 Earth Power Gem 5s, and with its passive creates 3 Earth Power Gem 5s. I think what they're trying to do is to make the ultra rare a bit less powerful than the ultimate form, because the ultimate form does create 7 with its battle skill and 3 with its passive, giving it a grand total of 10. This one, however, will create 7, 4 with its battle skill and 3 with its passive, giving it a grand total of 7, which makes it even with the master collection card when it comes to gem production. However, the master collection card is able to activate its battle skill every single turn. This one has got a 2-turn cooldown, so it's every other turn you will be creating 7 Power Gem 5s. Every turn, however, as long as you attack, you will create 3 Power Gem 5s. This one hasn't got any more passive on it, and this one dispels chaos, my favorite buff. Keep seeing that stupid buff every week. So the support card for this week, and your support card is your Garden Variety support card. It will create 8 Earth Gems. It's got a 2-turn cooldown, and it's got a passive that heals you for 5000% of hero recovery, which isn't really that much. It's not able to heal your deck fully. Is it able to keep your deck alive long enough? No, it won't be able to keep your deck alive long enough unless you've got 3 support cards on your deck. Having 3 support cards on your deck isn't gonna make your deck a brilliant deck. It's gonna make your deck a rubbish deck. Support cards nowadays haven't really got any place in the game, just like so much other cards we've seen in the past. So we're gonna have a look at the event card, and for that we go into my collection. So this is your event card, and your event card for this week, I think the event card is quite okay. It creates 4 no, that's not the event card. That is your master collection card. This is your event card. So your event card creates 6 Earth Power Gem 4s. It's got a 1-turn cooldown, 9 gem charge rate. This one dispel blind as well. So this one can create 6 Earth Power Gem 4s every single turn upon activation of the battle skill. 2 of these cards will actually give you 12 Power Gem 4s, which is not too bad really. It's okay. It hasn't got a boost, it hasn't got a passive, but I think it's okay when it comes to an event card. It probably could have do with the boost. 10% boost to self attack wouldn't have been bad. Would have made this this event card a far better event card. Overall, the deck in and of itself isn't really a brilliant deck. Let's go ahead and field the deck, and then let's try the deck out as a standalone deck without anything producing any gems, any off affinity gems. So let's field both master collection card. I'm not going to use the support card. I think the support card is absolute garbage. So that is the deck, not the complete deck. There's no support card there. Don't think the support card is any use. Now, possible deck combinations. This combination will work quite well. So it's a Slayer combination, a mixture of Slayer and Commander, because obviously I'm using the Jailers. So we've got Intrepid Voyagers, and this one is where we get our killer skill from. So we get the 900% damage boost from hits chaotic killer, and then it will create 4 Earth Power Gem 5s, and it creates an additional 4 Earth Power Gem 5s on the next turn as well when the surround are mapped. It's got 2-turn cooldown. This one, the Jailers, has got a 6-turn cooldown. This one needs no introduction. It will increase enemy turn count by 1. It will also create 5 Earth Power Gem freeze plus 1 more per 100 arcane killer intensity. It's got a 6-turn cooldown, as I said, which is the Achilles heel for this particular card. The passive, however, is quite brilliant. So whenever Era delay the enemy turn, it increases arcane killer attack by 1200% for 1 turn. This can strike multiple times. Now it's got a second passive, which once per battle, instead of dying, you survive and increase enemy turn count by 1. That can be quite useful. Odd One Gorillas, our main damage dealer, creates 2 Earth Power Gem 4s, 3 Earth Power Gem 2s, and receive bonus attack buff, which is what the current Master Collection and Ultimate form has got. So on the turn after, it will strike an additional time, dealing 100% of the main damage. However, this is multiplied by 3 keys, which gives you a massive bang for your buck. So this is a really useful card. Lost Kingdom Guardians is the one that's going to produce our Half Affinity Gem. It creates 7 Water Power Gem 5s. It also heals for 2000% of your recovery. Whenever ambushing, the effects are doubled and the enemy turn count is increased by 1, which gives this card a really useful application when it comes to the Jailers. The Defiant Duet. Now the Defiant Duet is there to primarily delay the enemy and create additional power gems. So it will create 4 Earth Power Gem 4s initially and 3 Earth Power Gem 2s as well. It will also add Swarm Buff for 1 turn, then delay the enemy turn count by 1. While Swarm Buff is active, every battle skill that does a turn delay, it will create an additional 2 Earth Power Gem 4, which is quite good. It's got a 5-turn cooldown, which is quite long, but cards that does turn delay normally have long cooldown, or call that cards that's got immunity. And that is the one that I'll be using for the kill bosses and the solo bosses, because I don't really think the current deck is man enough to stand up to what is required of it. Now this is the deck that I'm using to farm my keys. I've got Devilish Door, which is a older chaotic killer commander card. This one will create up to 27 Earth Power Gem freeze, making it one of the more powerful ultimate form from the last set of ultimate forms that we had last year, because it does create quite a lot of power gems even though it's power gem freeze. It's got a 4-turn cooldown, and the passive, each time this era attacks, it creates 3 Earth Power Gem 2s. It's got a second passive as well, which if 25 Earth Power Gem 1s or higher exist on the board, it becomes enraged for 3 turns, increasing Earth Commander's attack by 10%. I know 10% attack increase isn't that much nowadays, but it does help. The next passive, increase maximum HP by 50%, and it's got the ultimate gem on it. Ultimate gem doesn't really give you a massive bang. You got Primal Protector. You've got the Master Collection card, 2 copies of that. I've got this one, Thundering Behemoth, and this one works quite well with the current deck. It creates 6 Earth Power Gem 5s. It heals for 1500% of hero recovery. We're not too concerned about the heal. What we are focusing on is the 1-turn cooldown that it's got. Now, It's got a passive called Shock Waves, and at the end of each turn, it creates 6 dark power gem 4s if you crush any gems on that turn. You will crush gems using this particular deck, so you will get that 6 dark power gems. So you don't really need to actually fill the battle skill of this card. It hasn't got haste where you start with the battle skill full, but you will create dark power gems every turn as long as you have a gem crush. And with the current deck, you activate your battle skills every turn, so you will get power gem. You will get gem crush. This doesn't matter if you crush dark gems, fire gems, water gems. As long as you got a gem crush, this passive actually activates. The next one is Feeding Frenzy. On turn when you gem crush, this era attacks with 100% increased damage. That isn't really gonna have much of an application because this is a dark card, a dark card. So even though it's a commander, it's not really gonna deal much damage anyway. And that's the one that I'm using for the quest map. That's for the solo bosses and the guild bosses. And this, I'm just going to demonstrate the effectiveness of the current deck. So gonna go straight in. And the first thing we're going to do, we're going to have a look at one of the wave fights. Haven't been playing for that long. So I think I've just got 3 waves. So we're going to use Primal Protectors. We're gonna go straight in. Now the app has been given a bit of problems. It's been freezing, or it's just been closing from time to time, especially when I do a big damage. So hopefully it doesn't freeze or closes while we're doing the video. So straight away, because of the relics that I'm using, we have created quite a number of gems on the board, and we have actually add a gem crush. So I'm just gonna match the gems, do the attack, and I'll get my 6 dark gems on the board. There you go, you got your 6 dark gems. And what I tend to do is activate the 2 Master Collection card for the current deck and Primal Guardian. So those ones have got 1 turn cooldown, and as long as you keep attacking, you keep on generating skill points for Devilish Duo. And when you get up to around about 70-80 skill points, then you start seeing Devilish Duo creating quite a number of power gem freeze on the board. So again, we've got dark gems produced by our Alpha Affinity Ultimate Form, and all we do is just activate the battle skill for the 2 Master Collection card and the Ultimate Form for the current deck, and we just keep rinsing and repeating. However, when you come up against the mini boss, or you come up against the final boss, which will have a bit of power and a bit of health on it, you just activate your off affinity gem producing card and then activate everything else. And as you can see, we've created quite a number of high valued power gems on the board. We're just going to swap the 2 biggest that we can find side by side and allow the deck to do its thing. And you can see the damage output is quite nice, quite high damage output, which is really, really good. So that one is quite good for the wave fights. It's quite fun using as well. And we've got a solo boss up. So there's my deck for my solo bosses. And the thing with this, it's quite quick. As long as you get all your cards put up on the first turn, you just activate all your battle skills, and you do massive damage. No need to wait to go through 1 or 2 turns to power up your cards, because at the moment I'm using only Earth Relics. So all my cards are powered up, so I'm gonna go from right to left, activating Defiant Duet, Lost Kingdom Guardians, Hard-Won Gorillas, Jailers, so on and so forth. Swap 2 of my power gems, and I've produced 8 trillion damage for Hard-Won Gorillas, who will actually do the nuke damage for 5 times that. So 5 8's 40. I mean, I only done 50% overkill, but that's not too bad. So we are gonna get into the guild bosses, and then we're gonna see what we're actually able to do. So let's get rid of some of these ones on the board. So you may notice that currently I'm not in the guild that I was in the last time I done a video. I was kicked from the guild because first and foremost, I'm rubbish at GVG, and secondly, I've got a lot of time restraint on my time, so I'm not able to play the game as much as I used to. And the guild required quite a lot of effort, especially when it comes to GVG, and I tend to keep missing my GVG attacks, messing up my GVG attacks, because I'm not really a good GVG attacker anyway. So I got kicked from the guild, which I must say I can't blame them from kicking me from the guild anyway. I would have kicked myself anyway, because I think I was quite a rubbish guild member recently. So I've gone back to my own old guild, which is quite a nice guild, because I was with them for over 2 years. They're quite accommodating when it comes to my time. Anyway, the guild leader is quite a good guild leader. He was the one who said to me that, because I used to play the game quite a lot, I would be on the game for probably say 12 hours of a day. And I remember having a conversation with him, and he said to me that, listen, life comes first, the game comes after. So always pay attention to everything to do with life, and then when you have lived life, then you play the game. So make sure that you give your family your time. When you go to work, you basically don't hide in the toilets or wherever to play the game. You work. When your work is finished and you get home, you spend time with your family, and then when you've got some time to yourself, then you play the game. So life comes first, and that's what he told me. And I think it's really a good advice, because back then what I used to do as well is set my alarm to actually collect my key for commander event, because commander event back then you depended a lot on keys, because you didn't get as much keys as you do now. Once you run out of keys, that's it, until you actually get more keys, or after reset you buy keys from the store. Now we don't even buy keys from the store, because we got quite a lot of keys. So it was quite different back then. So that's what he told me, and I've been doing that ever since. So we're gonna go straight in, and let's see this one, and then we're gonna have a look at the current deck in action. So I just wanted to give a shout out to a few of the guys from Dang, which was the guild that I was in last week. Big shout out to Pink Halo, big shout out to Vivid Dreamer. Really enjoyed playing with you guys. Big shout out to He Saved Me as well. So those 3 players were 3 players that really encouraged me. They were really understanding, and yeah, I must say it was great playing with you guys. Really learned a lot from you guys, and really enjoyed the guild while I was there. And thanks for having me anyway. So we aren't really doing much in the way of damage. I think I was talking a bit too much, so wasn't really paying attention to what was going on. So let's get through the cooldown and then see if we can actually take this boss out. So we've been hit with nothing other than a weaken, which it's been dispelled. So let's go ahead and activate all our cards and let's see if we can actually do anything resembling decent damage. Oh my god, run out of time, what a pity. Let's go back in and see if we can actually do anything resembling decent damage with this combination. So no talking this time, just gonna play. So everything didn't power up on the first turn, which was really a shame. Gonna get hit with weaken, I believe. No, it was dispelled by Defiant Duet. Really brilliant. That was really brilliant. So let's go ahead and swap that one. So 19 trillion. There you go. Boss is almost dead, which is quite brilliant. So the boss is not really strong. It's at 24. So he isn't really a powerful deck combination. However, I think it can work really, because you really and truly need the backing of your guild when it comes to Commander event. So Commander event is pretty much a guild event where the guild combines their collective power to actually take out the bosses. So it's not a solo event. Slay is a slow solo event. And there you go. So 2 attacks, but I was talking a bit too much, so it would have taken me 1 attack. Overkill is not really decent, but it is something that can actually work. So let's see if the current deck, which is this one, let's get rid of the event card and put something on board that's gonna create a bit of affinity. Gems, do you know what, let's see if we can try using this combination, the one that we've been using for the quest. Let's go ahead and see how it works out. I have a feeling it won't be too bad, but let's see. I mean, the nuke damage at the end for the ultimate form will come in handy. So we've got quite a number of shields on the board. Apart from reducing the damage, they do help you out a bit, stopping some of your gems from crushing. So there we go, we start producing. So what I would do is just keep activating my 2 master collection card and just keep swapping your power gems. No point trying to save the power gems. Just keep activating your cards. 2 master collection, the ultimate form, and just keep swapping your power gems. You'll keep crushing gems, so your Dark Affinity ultimate form will keep producing dark power gems on the board. Oh, that was a nice power gem there. Really nice. So let's go ahead and activate everything. Let's see. Devilish Door really done us justice, creating quite a number of power gems on the board. Let's see the damage output. So we got 17, 16, 15, and that will set to rise. simply because Devilish Door will start to create far more power gems as time goes on, and it increases the commander skill point. Plus the Dark Ultimate form will basically keep creating dark power gems as long as we do a gem crush. I keep forgetting to activate all my battle skill. Yeah, keep forgetting. So I think this is going to be the last attack because we're actually running out of health. So we can take... okay, there we go. We did kill the boss. So that really worked. That worked pretty well. I mean, we didn't do one massive attack, but I mean, just doing attack after attack after attack, it really chipped away at the boss, and it killed the boss eventually. I mean, the cards didn't really have like 60 trillion, 70 trillion, 100 trillion, but the damage was okay. I mean, I can see, well, I'm all out of keys. I can see this being a fun deck to use. Let's go ahead and attack a Carillion boss and see if we can get any headway. This is just a level 27 Carillion boss anyway, so let's see how we get on with this one. So the fact that you just keep activating your battle skill every single turn, I mean, can make the deck a bit of a fun deck to play with. As long as you've got the right setup. I really need to get rid of some of those shields. Really and truly need to get rid of some of those shields. So probably change up the relics a bit. So keep activating your free cards and just keep matching or swapping your power gem. I prefer to swap them to get quite decent damage when it comes to chip damage. So I'm generating 1 trillion per card, and it's gone up to 3. And it will increase as the number of power gem increases on the board, and you start getting bigger power gems. So we've gone back down to 1. So at this point, if I should have activated all my battle skills there, so I'm gonna actually lose the boost. So let's double up on the boost before we do one of our main attack. On this turn, I'm gonna activate everything. So I probably could use something that gives me a revive. So pretty decent power gems on the board there. Didn't really do much in the way of damage just now. Weaken has been dispelled. Not really doing the type of damage that I would like to see, really. Even with decent power gems on the board, it's not really doing massive damage. You do get the ability to activate your battle skills every turn. I mean, the combination could be a bit better. Let's see if we can throw something in there in the way of getting rid of some of the shields on the board. So let's go Dark Commander and find a relic for or was it I think it was, yep, Chaotic Killer, and I think that's the relic. And that will only dispel one of a shield. That will only break one shield, so we will be breaking 2 shields. So really need ultimate relic. So let's see if we got a ultimate relic that will dispel far more. So that one will break 4 of the shields, but we let's go back in, because the shields they do decrease your damage, not significantly, but they do have an effect on your damage output, because they reduce. So we've only got 1 shield on the board, which is far better, but however we didn't do a gem crush on the first turn, but we will do a gem crush this time around. There's the gem crush. So we'll start producing dark power gems on the board. And we've reduced the amount of commander skill points that we're generating, because we've reduced the number of commander relics on the board by 1. But that's neither here nor there. I think I'm gonna activate everything now, and let's see if we can actually do any decent damage. So we're gonna swap these 2 here. Let's see the damage output on the deck. So 6, 5, 5, 5. Let's see if we can increase that before we actually die. Devilish Duel's got a 4-turn cooldown. We're now up to 132 skill points. We probably could take, say, 2 more hits before we are down and out. Let's see if we can take 2 more hits. We ain't gonna take 1 more hit, so just go ahead and activate all the battle skills that are available and swap that. So we haven't got a lot of health on the deck, which is really a shame. So 6, 7, 6, 6. There you go. We didn't really take out a Carillion boss, because the boss isn't really that strong, and as you can see, it didn't have much health on it anyway. So the deck is fun to play with, but it's not really that powerful unless you've got something that's gonna actually boost chaotic killer damage. When it comes to other combination that you can use, that's one combination that you could use. I mean, you could look to see if you can find something in the way of Immortal Killer. So let's see if we've got anything decent in the way of Immortal Killer. Those are your choices when it comes to Immortal Killer. So there probably are other combinations out there that you could use, but these are just the ones that I came up with so far, because I just started playing the event. Let's see the complete deck in action. We're gonna try that out in the wave fights. Let's try out in the wave fights and see how it actually if it fares quite well in the wave fights. So let's try it out in the Carillion waves. I think we've only got 2 waves, because I haven't been playing that long, but I decided that I was gonna make a video today regardless of if I'm really tired, because just came in from work this morning and I just wanted to make a video. I'm doing 12-hour night shifts, so that can be quite grueling, quite demanding. I will start making video on o.m.g Origin 2. I've been playing it now for 10 weeks. My character is really strong. Getting the hang of the game. I've learned quite a bit about the game. So if there's anybody out there that's interested in o.m.g Origin, it's a really good MMORPG game. Doesn't take up a lot of your time. It plays itself most of the time, but you just need to know how to use your resources, know where to collect your resources. You need to know your way around the game, because if you're not really clued up as to what you're doing, you can waste a lot of time and a lot of resource. That's what's been happening to me, but I've learned quite a bit about the game, so I'll share that information with you on a few videos and actually see if people are interested in that game. I find it quite interesting. The graphics are really good. Gameplay is quite good. You do have a lot of people on it that just like to go around and frustrate you, but it's part and parcel of what MMORPG is all about. So this one, because it hasn't got any off affinity gem spawn on board, I think it's taking quite some time to get the boss out. But because you're actually able to activate the battle skills every single turn, you're actually doing nice damage. So the deck is actually good for the wave fights. However, if you haven't got something to really boost chaotic killer damage or chaotic killer attack when it comes to the guild bosses, you're not really gonna do that well. I don't personally think it's a brilliant deck. I think it's a nice deck to use, but I don't think it's a brilliant deck. But I think the ultimate form or the master collection card going forward can be really good off affinity gem spawners. So if you're only able to craft one of these cards, I would say go for the master collection card, because it will do quite well when it comes to spawning power gems, off affinity power gems for another deck. So let's see how we actually fare. I don't believe we're gonna do quite well against this boss. So here we go. Free keys. It's got 167 trillion, and let's see if we can take this out quite sharpish. We'll probably get 2 attack in. Probably need 2 attack as well just to kill the boss. I don't think we're gonna get more than probably around about, if we get 10% overkill or 20% overkill, I'll be really happy. So we're gonna activate everything straight away from right to left. As you can see, we're not really producing a lot of high value power gems on the board. So our main damage dealer just dealt 4.4 trillion. And I'm just going to activate all the battle skills that are available just to give me I think I should have matched the gems and not swapped the gems. Okay, so we're gonna die, and we haven't got Lost Kingdom Guardians battle skill, which is really a shame. So next time I will not activate. There we go, we have it now. So we're gonna pretty much be finita now. Oh, there we go, run out of time. Let's go back. I think that was a rubbish attack. I really didn't do good that time. Let's do it properly this time. As I said, I'm really tired. So I'm making silly mistakes when it comes to using my decks. So we're going to take this boss out and we're going to leave it there. I'm going to try and get some sleep for work in a few hours. So we're going to take this boss out. Oh, we've been hit with blind, but guess what? Our main damage dealer hasn't been hit with blind, so that's good. Just going to swap these two down here. Let's see. Yeah, that's much better. 33.7 trillion. Boom. Bigger bang from a buck. And let's see the overkill. Should realistically get at least 20%. 50%. 25. Oh, well, it's 25 and 50. I mean, 100% overkill would have been nice, but it is what it is. I appreciate what I got. And that's it. So if you've got a better deck combination, I would like to hear from you. Would like to try it out. You can find me on the network app at o.m.g Octane Mobile Gaming, or you could leave a comment on the video, like as well, subscribe, and thanks to all of you guys out there, and enjoy the event. Peace and have a great day.